Welcome back to the Daily BS. My name is Doug Larson. You can find us at barbellshrugged.com. I got a question. Someone did a calorie calculator, and they figured out that they need to eat about twice as much as they're currently eating, and they want to figure out how to do that without spending too much money. And so they're wondering what are some cheaper sources of calories. They don't want to put in more calories, but just do it by eating a bunch of junk. So what are some cheap sources of calories? So first, let's take a step back and talk about kind of how we view paleo and what you should be eating. If this is your plate, a little over half of that plate should be vegetables, about a quarter protein, and then some healthy fats added in. That's what you should be eating for the most part. Post-workout, you can divide your plate in half and do half meat and half some type of denser form of carbohydrate, some type of starchy carbohydrate. Okay? So let's start with that. Post-workout, you want meat and starchy carbohydrates. Starchy carbohydrates are pretty much the cheapest food money can buy, so you're pretty much set there. Buying things like rice and sweet potatoes is very, very cheap. So if you're working out at least once a day, then that's a great post-workout option to have some type of cheap carbohydrate. And then as far as your meat goes, you have a couple of options for cheap sources of meat. If money's an issue, buying grass-fed meat and wild-caught fish is going to be more expensive. So for the time being, until you can find a way to get some more money, you don't have to buy grass-fed and wild-caught. It's a good source of protein either way. The fatty acid profile isn't quite as ideal, but it's still going to be better than going to fast food, for example. So ground beef is very cheap, much cheaper than buying a steak, for example. If you go to Costco and buy very large pork tenderloins, per pound they turn out to be like $1.50 or $2 per pound. You're gonna probably have to cut that up and maybe freeze some of it or put it in the fridge and cook it in portions. So that's a great option, which kind of brings up the next point of buying in bulk. If you can buy in bulk, you're always going to save money. So going to places like Costco and buying big pork tenderloins and buying huge bags of things like almonds is always going to be cheaper. So buy in bulk. As far as healthy fats goes, things like butter, again, grass-fed butter is grass-fed cows that you get butter from are ideal, but you can still just buy regular butter. Macadamia nuts are a great source of fat, but those are probably a little more expensive, so you can shy away from some of the more expensive forms of nuts like macadamia nuts and buy things like almonds, like I said, which are kind of a mid-range as far as price goes. You could buy cheaper things like peanuts. Again, they're not very paleo friendly, but if you're just trying to get more calories, the calories in peanuts aren't necessarily bad for you, although you have to put them in the legume category. Some people will throw a fit. I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you're trying to find some cheap calories, some peanuts or peanut butter, it really is not the end of the world, so you can throw those into your diet. As far as vegetables go, if you're trying to add more calories than eating a lot of things like spinach and kale, which are very high as far as nutrient density goes, but very low as far as caloric density goes, is probably not going to benefit you. If you're trying to get more calories, I would stick to more calorically dense vegetables, and maybe even adding in some more fruit rather than eating like salads and what have you. So I hope those few tips helped out. You can go to barbellshrugged.com and click the Ask a Question tab at the top of the page if you want to ask us any more questions. You can also go to Twitter at Barbell Shrugged, ask us a question on Twitter, or go to Facebook, facebook.com/Barbell Shrugged Podcast. Like our page, and you can ask us a question on the Facebook wall.
If you like this video or any of our other videos, make sure to share it on your Facebook wall by clicking share and then the Facebook icon, and then also like it. Thanks, Truck Thugs.